Welcome to the Field of 68 After Dark's YouTube channel. We are going to be live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube and on Stadium for the entirety of the spring.
Southeastern Conference announced the opponent lineup, who will be home, who will be away for these matchups. No dates, no TV yet. It's too early for that. But they announced that on Monday. And we learned that Kentucky and Arkansas, who were likely scheduled to play one time based on the computer formula that's being used in this conference slate, that Kentucky and Arkansas will play one time, but it will be in Lexington, meaning John Calipari will return to Rupp Arena when Arkansas visits Kentucky. Rob, I think it's safe to say this is the most anticipated conference game in all of college basketball before we even know how anything else lines up. What do you anticipate Lexington's reception of Cal being?
I think it's going to be that's interesting. I think that we will see cheers. I think we will see applause, right? I don't think that he went out on bad terms. I don't think he did it the wrong way. And I don't think it's something where the fan base wanted him to stay and he left. Like, this isn't like an Ed Cooley leaving Providence situation. This isn't a Chris Beard leaving Texas Tech situation. I think that the Kentucky fans kind of wanted him to go. Would they have liked him to end up at a place like a USC instead of within their own conference with half of their roster? Probably. But I do think that they've ended up in a situation where they got a coach that they want to get behind and a program they want to get behind, and there's a level of excitement within the Kentucky fan base that it feels like we haven't seen in a long time. But I will say this: if there's one, you remember how last year when the schedule came out, the first thing that we did was we circled that noon tip at
Yep.
January 27th in Providence. That was the very first thing we circled on the schedule, said we will be there. I can tell you right now that unless that game is played on like the night of my daughter's birthday or something like that, unless there is no possible way for me to find a way to get to Lexington for that game, that we will be there and we will doing a Field of 68 After Dark live from Rupp Arena after that game. I don't know if there's a conference matchup that I want to see in person more than that game right there.
Are you more bullish on Arkansas in this upcoming season than Kentucky?
I think I like Kentucky's roster a little bit more as of this moment. I expect Arkansas to fill out a little bit. I think that they'll still probably go out and get some guys that can be role players. And I would not be surprised if that Arkansas, that the Tyson chicken budget, so to speak, found a way to be able to add some of these guys that are coming back from the NBA draft that are still in the portal. So I think that there's still room to change. I think that looking at these rosters right now, I would say that Arkansas probably has the best player, right, in Janelle Davis. And they probably are the most solidified at the point guard spot / lead guard spot with Nelly Davis. But I think I like the roster build that Kentucky has a little bit more than the roster build of Arkansas right now. What I mean by that is you have veterans that have done it at a high level up and down this lineup, and going to the bench, right? Kentucky goes 9 deep more or less, and most of those guys have proven the ability to play the Division I level already. Some of them at the high major level, Otega Owe, Kirk Risa specifically. I don't know if you necessarily have that with Arkansas. I think there's a lot of freshmen that are going to be asked to play big time roles for them. Jonas Adu is going to be awesome, right? He's going to be a really good 5-man. Nelly Davis is going to be really, really good. But beyond that, you're asking for young guys to play big roles. And I don't know if I necessarily trust them in that situation or trust Cal to be able to get the best out of them in those situations just yet. But honestly, I think both of them are like borderline top 25 teams right now. So it's going to be another thing. We all thought that the Georgetown Providence game might actually mean something. Well, it turns out we saw an NIT team and the team that finished second to last in the Big East playing each other. I don't think it'll be quite that bad for either of these two teams, but I don't think we're going to be going down and seeing a top 10 matchup like we did when Kentucky played Tennessee or when Kentucky played Auburn last year.
Yeah. The Kirk Kriisa experiment, now going to Lexington is just so fascinating because we have seen, just the trials, the tribulations of Kriisa. But Kobe Brea, I love the get there, and Otego away, a winner, a tough guy, a guy who's going to help them on the wing. I'll be interested to see Amari Williams because I'll be honest, like having Drexel a bunch in the CAA TV package, they really didn't gear their offense around Williams this past year as opposed to other seasons. They played more on the perimeter. And the reason for that was just like he doesn't have a great perimeter game. He really doesn't possess a perimeter game. So the shot making you could play off of him. He's got to, let's see if Mark Pope and his staff can get him cooking, can get him going into a different dimension offensively. Because if not, that's going to lead him to having some tough times in the SEC.
Thanks for watching the Field of 68 After Dark. Make sure to hit that like button.